of the day, and anybody can answer. My friend, let me ask you all the first question. If somebody comes to you in your class and says that to you,
Yeah,
कोई आपके पास आएगा और कहेगा कि मुझे जान जान लेना है, कोई विद्यार्थी, तो आप उनसे कैसे बर्ताव करेंगे?
yeah, Dr. Srini.
I think I'm going to ask them to. I'm going to tell them to. I'm going to tell them to come and see me, and in the meantime, speak to me, and speak to me
Okay.
as long as they want to speak to me. I have all the time for them.
Okay. So you will just listen to them as
Yes.
long as they want to speak to you, and you would help them in ventilation and catharsis and listen to them deeply. Phenomenal, fantastic. Anybody else?
Listening and counseling.
Listening and counseling. And what do you mean by counseling?
Counseling means to identify his problem and to help to resolve her problem.
Okay, okay, okay. Anybody else? Thank you, sir.
Yes, Shama ma'am, Suzanne Malkania, please.
So this has actually happened with me. Why? And a student sent me message saying that she is ending her life. Of course, I was disturbed initially, and what I did was kept chatting with her, checked if somebody is there at her place or she is alone, and
Yes.
tried to contact her friends to contact her. Maybe go to her place. Provided some helpline numbers to seek help immediately. That's what I could think of and did.
So you thought about safety and help, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Good morning, sir. I would, yes, counseling, talking, trying to help the child, the person to ventilate and basically bring out whatever disturbances in the mind, but also ask logical questions as to why the person wants to end their life. And try to maybe logically build a discussion where we can show them the other side of what it is to have a life rather than to lose life.
Okay, okay.
Sir, I'm having one practical experience with me.
Yes,
One of
sir.
one of my students, she lost her father, and there were 5 members in her family. And from her friends, I came to know she is acute shortage of she needs some financial help. And meanwhile, I have tried to contact my other friends, also my colleagues also, and we went to her. I myself went to her home, and she was not aware of the case what is been narrated to me by her friends, and I just hand over the money and paid the fees to her of her. And I think so that was a thing which we have to practically do for the students if they are really in need of certain immediate help.
Absolutely, there are so many reasons, but I would like to share something here. All of us have given me a very good insight. But let me say, when somebody talks about death and dying, as somebody said, the first person who shared from TISS, listening, listening, listening is very important. Number two is, remember, the intensity of the entire thought is something which we are not trained to assess. So what is so important is safety next, and see to it that he or she accesses a mental health professional at the earliest, so that the mental health professional will come and tell us this is only a cry for help. This is a momentary lapse of reason. This probably is an equivalent to frustration, and or this is depression, distress, which needs immediate treatment. So what is very important is एक बार तो उसका screening होना जरूरी है. Once at least he or she should be screened. No, people in remote villages, you will not find a mental health professional. You might not find anybody in your area to really go and talk to a psychiatrist or a psychologist. It's very important to take the person to safety, but it's important to find any doctor, physician from a medical college to find out if the child is depressed. If the child has depression or has distress or has stress or has a concern or an issue. And I'm very happy to hear sometimes financial problems are a very important cause for self-harm. These are the things which we need to do. What are the things which we should not do? Can anybody answer? What are the things which we should not do?
Yes, we should, like, according to me, what we should not tell immediately not to do is like not to directly stop what their intention is
Okay.
without giving any proper reason.
Okay. Okay. What else? Any? Thank you.
We need to take such a step. No, so where first actually we need to know the actual reason. Actual reason in deeply, not just we just know what is actual the problem, and immediately we take the decision. So we need some times to observe proper ways. This much only. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank.
सर सबसे पहले उसको बताएंगे कि देखो आज बारिश हो रही है, कितना सुहाना मौसम है, उसका मूड चेंज करेंगे सर.
Okay. Okay. Very nice. Very nice. उसका कैसे भी
Yeah.
One thing we should not do is to think rationally or try to rationalize. Whereas, as Dr. Sohini said, we have to listen and maybe look for some words which talk about a little bit of hope.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, everybody, for your participation. Let me tell you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You may check the cause transiently, but don't go for the root cause. When somebody meets with an accident on the road, we don't check the number of the truck or the car which has hit the person, or we don't go and arrest the driver. We are supposed to take care of the person's hands and feet which has been injured. So sometimes root cause may not be important, but casually might ask what happened. Number 2, no rara talks, no chest thumping tongue. Tumhare ma, your mother and father are so nice, you have no problems at home, you have been sent to the school or the college for study. Is this what you are doing? No lectures, no rara lectures at all. Number 3, if it is because of a breakup with a girl or a boy, don't say, यहाँ तो तुम पढ़ाई और पहलवानी के लिए आए हैं, उम्र निकल गई तो गई. You have come here to study. If you waste your time, you will not be able to achieve anything. Love is not important. No, not at all. Or you may find somebody else. No. Move on. Your problems will go. No, you can't say this at all. You also can't say that life is beautiful, rain is very good. Somebody said, no, it looked really, I like that answer. But at that point of time, that person's mind may be severely distressed or depressed. When you're very depressed, a slum or Switzerland appears the same. A beautiful flower and something very bad and dirty appears the same. So for that person, it doesn't matter, even if the world is beautiful. उनके जहन में तो अंधेरा ही अंधेरा है. Their mind is dark. So it's very important first not to tell them life is beautiful, don't worry, we are there. Not to tell them that your parents are so good, there is no cause for you to do that. Not to tell them that what happens if there's a breakup. No problem, you'll find somebody else, focus only on your studies. Not to get angry at them at that point of time, but be compassionate. What happens at that time is you tend to, the story echoes in your own mind, and your mind software will give you answers based on what you think about the issue. But what is more important is to help him or her in his own framework. Also, don't share your story. So many teachers have this habit of sharing their own stories. मैं छोटा था, मेरे घर में पैसे नहीं थे, खाना नहीं था, फिर भी मैं यहाँ तक आया, देखो. No, yaar. Share your stories, not your glories. Your stories would mean, when I was small, I had also a lot of trouble, beta. But I understand, I know that you, as of now, you are in deep distress. Don't shower them with love, lot of love. Love does not cure diabetes. Love does not cure a heart attack. Love does not cure a mind attack. At that point, help is important. Love is like the dessert after the food. The food is important, but you may not have the dessert at all. You have to have your food, and that is so important. You can throw the ice cream, but food is something you need. So these are the things which are very important, what you should not do, and that I think is important. Now, let me say, in COVID, remember, we all have changed. The RNA virus has changed the DNA of the human race. Sita Prajna, Smashan Virag, Existential dilemmas have come across. What is the point in fighting with my sister-in-law, my mother-in-law, my father-in-law, my brother, or my mother? Life is too short. We are temporary travelers on the earth, and these are the thoughts that come. Empathy also has increased, and to some extent, what is very important to understand that is sadness is very important for empathy. Emotional regulation, samanta, equanimity is important for empathy. But at the same time, if people block their sadness, I meet a lot of people who say, हमें कभी दुखी नहीं होता है, हम happy है. You cannot be happy in life all the time. We might chase peace. Happiness or joy is the side effect of peace, is an outcome of peace. So remember, don't block your sadness. जो बह गया वो पानी है, जो रह गया वो जहर है. Don't block your tears. Sadness is important. Sadness is a normal emotion. Depression is a negative state. So very important, this sentence for all of you. Shame is a very important reason for self-harm. I failed in my exam. I can't show my face to my father or mother. I can't show my face to my teachers. I'm ashamed. And I want to harm myself. And all you teachers have to spread this philosophy. Kill shame, seek help. And if those kids who are able to ask the most stupidest question in the class and that question is respected, you kill shame. Kill shame, seek help is one of the most important attributes. It does not start by mental illness, distress. It starts by simple things. If in a class, if anybody feels free to ask any question to the teacher, that's the environment you create in the class, you kill shame. Amitabh Bachchan lost all his money sometime in the middle of his career. He did not know what to do. His house was mortgaged with a bank, and the bank was saying, please leave the house. I think it was Canara Bank those days. Amitabh Bachchan goes to a producer, I think it's Yash Johar, if I'm not wrong, and says, Mujhe kaam chahiye, I need work. And he says, go and meet my son. I think Yash Chopra. And he goes and meets his son and he gets a role in Mohabbatein. And his career turns around. If Amitabh Bachchan can ask help, anybody can ask help. So one of the most important preventive messages in schools and colleges is to kill the shame of children. Kill the shame of children who are poor, who are shy, who are introverted. And those who feel marks and career growth is the only source of self-esteem, which is so wrong. And one most important intervention for you, all my dear teachers, hopelessness is a symptom of depression. Giving hope is a symptom of life. Killing shame and helping the person share, it works at different levels. He or she then tomorrow will be able to share his life issues if he's able to ask stupid questions in the class. And this is something very important. My dear friends, when I was small and when you were small, we never thought about suicide. We have failed in exams. We have failed in love. We failed at so many places, but we never said suicide. We never talked about suicide. We never talked about self-harm. We never talked about drugs. But there's enough evidence to say that there's an epigenetic writing on the chromosome because of the stress we have faced across life. Because the globalization has increased our pace, causing burnout, disconnection. Disconnection is one of the most important adverse effects of globalization, rapid industrialization, technology. Very few people attend funerals. We don't know who dies in our neighborhood till we see a circular on the board. People do not meet each other. There's no time to meet and chat. And disconnection is one of the most important reasons